going to be talking about Mozart. So I got that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, whose whole name was Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgang Theophilus Mozart. He did a lot of music practices with his father Leopold, and also sometimes when his dad wasn't there, he would even do it by himself. And also, I noticed that the two names Theophilus and Amadeus have the same meaning, which is loved by God, and I can kind of figure out why they named them that. Is because most of Mozart's family were Catholics, and so also Mozart had a sister named Maria Anna, but she shortened it to now. Anyways, she was 5 years older than he was, and Mozart's dad was born on November 14, 1719, and Mozart's mom was born on 1720, and the mom and dad married in 1747. And on July 30, 1751, Rihanna was born. And then on January 27, 1756, Mozart was born. When Mozart was a kid, he learned how to play the violin, the piano, and the violin, and a lot of other things. Very beautiful. Also, Mozart had worked a lot. Later, he couldn't really write a lot, so he went to a young student and taught him a lot of things. And so, on November 1791, he went to his bed, but he still worked. And on the morning of December 5th, 1791, he died. He died a few weeks before his birthday, and he was buried in the cemetery of St. Mark's in a suburb of Vienna. Mozart lived to be 35 years old, and as for Maria Anna, she died in 1829. While Mozart was still alive, he lived among some other famous composers named Joseph Haydn, Franz Schubert, and Ludwig van Beethoven. Mozart amazed nobles, kings, and princes with his ability to play music. One thing that I did learn about one of the composers named Joseph Haydn, he heard of Mozart and said, "Posterity will not see such a talent in 100 years." The question that people ask is, have we seen such a talent since Mozart? And also, I learned that Ludwig van Beethoven was born in 1770 and died in 1827. And also, I knew that Mozart had 7 children. The first one was Raymond Leopold. He was born on June 17, 1783, and died in August 1783. The second one was Carl Thomas, who was born on September 21, 1784, and died in 1858. The third one was Johann Thomas. He was born in October 1786 and died in November 1786. The fourth child was Teresa, who was born in December 1787 and died in June 1788. His fifth child was Anna Maria, who was born on November 1789 and died 1 hour later. His sixth child was Franz Xaver, which I don't know the details about him, or the seventh child, which was Wolfgang, and that was the seventh child's name. I learned that Carl Thomas became a talented painter but did not pursue music as a career. Franz Xaver became a composer, teacher, painter, and conductor. Mozart's dad died in May 28, 1787, and I don't know when his mother died. And also, I learned that if you listen to Mozart's music for 8 hours a day, every day, it would take you 1,487.5 days to hear it all. That would be more than 4 years of listening. I learned that Mozart's nickname was Wolfie, and that Mozart never went to school. His father, Leopold, taught him reading, writing, arithmetic, history, and geography. Mozart wrote his first musical composition at age 4, and he did his first symphony at age 9 and his first opera at age 12. Mozart did amazing things like playing the piano blindfold, or playing the piano when the keys were covered up, or playing the piano backwards. He played away with his hands behind him on the keys. Mozart liked to play cards and billiards. He also liked to write funny letters to his family and friends. Mozart never used his whole name. Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgang Theophilus Mozart. He shortened it to Wolfgang Amadeus. He never used the word Amadeus that would come to use now for his name. And also, I'd have to say that just like Mozart, his music, Mozart, the one who changed the world with his music, was very young when he began reading, writing, playing instruments, and learning. Mozart, throughout all history, is very popular. He was even popular when he was still alive, to do music and teach other people and learn about things. He spent most of his time with his dad Leopold practicing his music lessons. And when he got older, he had a lot of knowledge of music, and a lot of people went to his operas, which three most popular operas ones were Marriage of Figaro, and the second one was Don Giovanni, and the third one was The Magic Flute. The Magic Flute was and still is the most popular opera ever, and a lot of people still play. Also, I learned that Mozart's parents had a lot of children die, and only Mozart and Anna Maria survived.
This is my Mozart report. This was about Mozart when he was only 3 years old, and he began to write songs and even make music. He knew how to make music when he was 5 also. When he played it as he got older, he played it really good. Mozart could play the piano when he was 5, and he also made his first piece of music. When Mozart would travel, he would meet musicians, and they would become his teachers. And they would help him, and they would teach him music. They helped him hear the music, play the music, and compose the music, so that he could do it when he was older. Mozart lived in Salzburg, which is now known as Austria. When he was born, it was January 27, 1756. His full name was Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgang Theophilus Mozart. As a kid, he was called Wolfgang. His sister's name was Anna Maria. Her nickname was Nana. 7 of Leopold's children died, and when Mozart was born, they took it as a blessing from God. Leopold was a violinist. When Mozart was 3, he played whatever he wanted. He would always be scribbling on concrete and paper. So one day when he was scribbling, his father came into the room and asked him what he was writing. Then Wolfgang answered, "I am writing a concerto keyboard." Mozart, when he was 3, he wanted to play the violin, but he was still too young. When Mozart was a teenager, he was more talented, and when he was behaving bad, he would be less likely to get in trouble. But that didn't work for other people as it did for him.
Hi, I'm Sefer De Leon, and I'm going to be saying a report, and it's called Mozart Report, and here's how it goes. Mozart was born January 27, 1756. 5 of Mozart's brothers and sisters had died before he was born. His full name is Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgangus Theophilus Mozart, but he called himself Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Leopold, his father, was a music maker. Mozart had a sister, but she was older than him. She called herself Nanro. The 2 children grew up together in a house on Gasse Cereal Lane, where they lived comfortably in their father's income from the Archbishop's court. The Mozarts were a close and happy family, although giving birth to Wolfgang left his mother very weak. Their mother was devoted to her two children. When Mozart was very young, he had played the piano. Though his life was short, 35 years, Mozart composed over 600 works. His music is still studied, performed, and enjoyed today. Mozart lived and composed during a musical era called the Classical Era. He and his sister were the only two children to survive infancy in his family. By age 5, Wolfgang Amadeus was able to play the piano and violin quite well and had composed his first pieces of music. Mozart wrote his first musical composition at age 4, his first symphony at age 9, and his first opera at age 12. In Germany, Mozart's music has even been used in a wastewater treatment plant. Mozart's mother had him after the deaths of his brothers and sisters. Mozart played the symphony, opera, and violin, piano, and he had played lots of instruments that people like to listen to. When Nana was 7, she was given instruction on the clavier, a keyboard musical instrument similar to a piano. The classical era took place in Western Europe from 1750 to 1830. He began with waltzes called minuets, and over his lifetime composed same time as other famous composers of the classical period, including Joseph Haydn, Franz Schubert, and Ludwig van Beethoven. Of Mozart's talent, Haydn said, "Posterity will not see such a talent again in 100 years." The question many people ask is, have we seen such a talent since Mozart's death?
Hello, my name is Kevin. This is my Mozart report. Mozart, he was born in 1756, and he started playing music when he was 3 years old. He played the clavinet, the harpsichord, the piano, the violin, and viola beautifully. Mozart, in his time, he played his music in front of kings, princes, and many others. He had an ability to remember what he heard. Mozart lived at the same time as other famous composers, as Joseph Haydn, Franz Schubert, and Ludwig van Beethoven. Mozart played his music in many places like Australia, mainly in South America. Mozart married a lady named Constance. With her, he had 2 sons. The first was Carl Thomas, the next Franz Xavier Wolfgang. His first son was a painter, his other son was a teacher, pianist, and a conductor. Mozart wrote a lot of different kinds of compositions. Mozart, in 24 years, he wrote 56 or more symphonies, but only 41 are published as part of his complete works. Mozart wrote more than 90 compositions for chamber music. Mozart also wrote 24 concertos for piano and 5 concertos for violin. A concerto is a musical composition written for one or more solo instruments and orchestra. Mozart's opera are said to be the most entertaining, even funny of his musical compositions. Opera started in Italy in the 15th. The most famous composer of opera started in Italy in the 15th. The most famous composer of opera in the 17th is Mozart. Mozart wrote 22 operas. Mozart's most famous operas are The Marriage of Virgo, Don Gavin, and The Magic Flute. The Magic Flute is an opera that Mozart wrote in the last years of his life.
It opened in Vienna in September of 1791, quickly became very famous and popular. We live 250 years after Mozart, yet his music is still alive today. Mozart was making something when he was younger, and his father came and asked him what he was doing. He told him, but his father didn't believe him until he looked at it. He was very surprised to see this. A tear came down his face. Mozart died at the age of 35. His sister Maria was born in 1751, died in 1829. She was 78 years old. He was a very good person who played music.
Hello, this is my Mozart report, and my name is Serafina. Mozart was born in Salzburg, Austria in 1756. Mozart's whole name is Johannes Chrysostomos Wolfgang Theophilus Mozart. His father's name was Leopold. His sister's name was Anna Maria, but her nickname was Nannerl. He had a mother, but I don't know what her name is. And he had other brothers and sisters, but they died, and Nannerl is the only one who survived before Mozart was born. When Nannerl was 7, she was given a clavier and a keyboard similar to a piano. And Mozart was very interested, and he wanted to learn how to play, and he was only 3. When he turned 5, he learned how to play the piano and violin, and he composed his first pieces of music. He composed 600 works, and he lived 35 years. Mozart showed special gifts when he was 3 years old. He began to play the clavier, the harpsichord, the piano, the violin, and the viola beautifully. He impressed nobles, kings, princes, and many others with his special gifts. Mozart had a special gift of remembering what he heard. He could remember the timing, melody, and pitch of music, and all he had to do was hear it once. Mozart had went to Sistine Chapel and heard a very famous piece of music and memorized it and wrote it down. Mozart's name, Theophilus, is from the Bible in Luke chapter 1, verse 3. I don't know if he was a Christian, but if he was, I'm sure he'd be happy that his name was from the Bible, and I am happy that his name is from the Bible too. Mozart married a young lady named Constance. They had 2 sons named Carl Thomas and Franz Xavier Wolfgang. Carl Thomas became a pianist, but didn't pursue music as a career. Franz Xavier became a composer, teacher, pianist, and conductor. They were both a pianist like their father, and I think that's pretty cool. Mozart lived at the same time as other famous composers. Their names are Joseph Haydn, Franz Schubert, and Ludwig van Beethoven. When Mozart had composed as much music as he did, he didn't go to sleep because he kept writing. He eventually got sick, and it was very hard for him to even pick up a pen and write the music. He died because of lack of sleep